future where dreams come alive. Soft design, create here to make your vision thrive. Digital marketing ranking on Google so high. Concierge service, with you we'll reach the sky. Out of this world service, bring dreams to reality. Soft design, create the key to success. Turning your ideas into visual finesse. With our expertise, you'll rise above the rest. Let us guide you, we'll bring out your best.
How are you guys doing? So I'm going to stop my share for one sec, just to kind of focus and start in the. I have a ton of people that are doing web viewing, so they won't be able to chat directly in it. I have a ton of other people that are calling in. A bunch of clients are going to have to do the recording, but again, I'm so excited to have you guys. Anyone that's here, the coolest thing, you can ask questions live and we can kind of go back and forth and just see what's going on. To be real, there's a couple reasons I want to do this. Of course, there's a marketing side of it, and like I wouldn't be a marketing guy if I wasn't marketing myself, right? I hope you guys like my little jingle there. I hope you were shaking your booties. The biggest thing is I see clients getting ripped off all the time. Everyone is using AI. There was a little meme I thought about, like racking some of these up and sharing them, but I'll just tell you what it said. There was a meme that was like, hey, we created this program that comes up with wrong information all the time. Let's integrate it with everything. And in a big way, that's it. AI has some problems that are inherent with it. I'm hoping that you will learn some ways to counter that and how to use it and get around the issues with it. No matter what the tool is, there's always pros and cons, right? So it's basically, how can we use this technology and not let it hurt us? I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And in that sense, like, is anyone using AI right now for their business? How are you using it? Is anyone new to AI? Have you never used it? I think we all have basically heard of ChatGPT at this point. A little fun tidbit, the song that was playing before the meeting started that was on the little promo video for this, that was created with AI. I use AI all day long, every single day. And I feel like in a big way, a lot of my friends and artists and musicians, and again, like I used to be a musician and be cool. In a big way, AI is killing creativity. I'm sad about that. There is something very sad to that. In the same, it's a tool. And just like music, so as a parallel or an analogy, anyone can record music now. Did music get worse? Well, yes, I would say in a little bit it did. But in the same, it's easier. So the artists that didn't have access to the $1 million studio, they're able to now create music. So I think this is a wonderful tool. And if we leverage it correctly, and I hope to help you do that, I feel like this can dramatically help your business grow. So let's get into it. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Let's do this. So right off the bat, ChatGPT is the big AI that basically most of the tech spots are built with. There is Gemini too. So if we do Gemini, I honestly don't like Gemini as much. And what I'll say, I get worse results with Gemini. We're going to start with text generation and then we'll get into it. There are many others. Obviously, if you're using Facebook, where most of you got this invitation, Facebook also has some things where they can use AI. Everyone's doing it. And again, that's really it. Everyone's jumping on the bad. OpenAI was basically the big dog that came out. They were the MySpace of social media, if you will, and ChatGPT is the root. If you want to go learn about OpenAI, go to their website. You can see all the other products that they have. I honestly prefer the API. More than likely, we won't be doing that today. The API gives you a lot more control, but you have to basically be a programmer to use it. ChatGPT, what's cool, they've very much so made it accessible to everyone. Anyone can go. What are topics that every business owner should or would want to learn about relating to integrating AI into their business, specifically, say, local businesses? Okay. And just by chatting with it, we can ask it anything we want. Now, to me, I'll say, and again, I usually typically agree with this. The output is fairly accurate, but the problem is what AI is doing. Let's kind of start with that. How does AI work? AI is generating organic text, organic in big quotations. It's supposed to be truly original new text. What is AI? Hey, Siri. Hey, Google, that is AI. Every virtual assistant that you've ever used is AI. In a way, search engines were almost like the infant of what AI would become. And in that sense, how is it doing things? And this is kind of the scary part. Anything that is publicly out on the web, AI is leveraging to generate this information. So again, and please, if you do anything with AI, which I hope you do, don't share sensitive information. Now, I work in marketing. So guess what? 90% of what I create is then put out where? Publicly. So to me, and I tell clients this constantly, don't tell me something that I can't tell people. If there's proprietary information, I don't even want to know it. Like, let's not even go there. Let's focus on what we can tell people. If you did put something in, AI bots are trained on the information that you put in. So for example, let's say you accidentally copied your checking account number. That would be very not smart. Now, the one kind of issues, are they biased? And again, I honestly, I like what this is bringing up. Technically, yes, they are biased. So is Google, so is Facebook, so is every, oh, sorry, Eek. Siri's hearing me. They're listening. Oh no. So in that sense, all platforms are biased in some way. And I'll say even in my own business, I work with clients of all walks of life. I've worked with a gun store to a yoga studio to a death metal band to a church. I mean, it's, if you look at the different brands, to me, I'll work with anyone that's a legal and legitimate business. And I try to have a moral compass and things that I agree with. There's certain businesses I don't want to work with because I won't get the other ones. But in that sense, if I had a client party, it would be real fun, guys. AI typically is more, how to say this in a non-offensive, it's more left-leaning. I will definitely say right-leaning brands have, and again, I feel like that's typical with social media, that's typical with tech. I feel like it's a very obvious thing when you industry of how it works. Now, in using AI, certain brands will find that it doesn't work as good for them off the bat. Like just say opening the box and say like, what are blog topics and titles for a digital marketing agency? And you're literally just chatting with it. And there you go. Now it's giving you ideas. And guess what? You could literally go back and then say, okay, and I'm doing this from the seat of my pants, right? Because I want to show you how this works. Write me a 500-word blog post about, bam, okay? And like, we're not even reading this. We're just spitting it out, right? Now, is this okay? Is this good enough? Can you just go and take this? This is what most marketers that are using AI are doing. And I've seen clients that were paying 250 bucks a blog post. I've seen people that are paying monthly contracts. And I don't want to throw people under the bus and use specific examples that could be offensive to people that I love so dearly. But specifically, if we go and take this, and again, one of the biggest things in AI that I hate, this drives me insane. In conclusion, mastering SEO requires dedication. That is such BS, that in conclusion stuff. As soon as you see that, please always delete the in conclusion line. That is like the dead giveaway that you didn't generate organically. But if we go and copy this blog post, so I'm literally just copying the text, right? And I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to type in AI detector. And what's cool, and there's a bunch of them. We'll do several of these just to kind of see what's going on. And I'm just going to paste these in and then we'll come back. And a lot of them are paid. And I mean, there's reasons to pay for them. So that one hit a word limit. So that one we might have to go down a little bit. Let's say if we just do part of it.
Hey, Brad, we can't see your screen, just to let you know.
Oh, no. Hold on one sec. Let me do this. Thank you, Janae. Can you see that? Someone, anyone?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay, sorry. Okay, so oh no, technical difficulties. Please bear with me. So again, just to scroll up, I'm in a private window. I went to ChatGPT. I had it generate the blog topics. Here they are. I copied the first one. I had it write it. This is the blog post that I now copied. And now I'm going and I went to Google. I looked up AI detector and I'm literally just pasting that in to see. Now, again, a bunch of these are going to want you to pay. So already though, your content detected is 50% AI. And literally what that means, in a way, it is plagiarizing what we're doing. We got to go a little bit less than this. Oh, come on. There we go. Check for AI content. And bam, detect text. And bam, check. There are some people I don't recognize. That's so cool. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, so we'll go through and check these. Okay, so AI content detected. Every single client, 97.4, and again, are we surprised? I literally just copy and pasted it from ChatGPT. Are we surprised that it's detecting that it's AI? You shouldn't be. That is garbage. That is horrible. So if you are paying a marketing person and you check what they're doing and that's all it's doing, it's lazy. And at that point, in twofold, one, they're not generating your voice. One, it's not accurate to your actual brand. But the problem is that's not going to help you SEO wise. And why is that? Does plagiarism affect SEO? Plagiarism negatively affects SEO. And again, without tangenting these too far, you guys can double check this stuff. I've seen it firsthand, and I have many clients that I've gotten #1 on Google using SEO, search engine optimization. To me, arguably, that's the best investment you can make in your business. Not to make this about my brand, let me sell you SEO. But in that sense, search engine optimization to me is the best investment a brand can make because you show up for what you do, where you do it. Just as an example, Burgers, Naples, Florida. So SEO is what got Brooks Burgers #1 on the map, #1 on the web listings. So basically people that are looking for what? Burgers, where? Naples, Florida. And if the SEO is good, every variation, Naples FL, again, same thing, we're showing up, right? So let's not waste too much time on that. But what we're really hoping for is that you get major indexing. So here we can see that all of those pages got listed out. Now, when we're here, we see minor indexing where the pages are linked, but not listed out with their content. The better, and again, it's variable. SEO is like rolling the dice. Organic text is much more likely to rank because Google, and think about it, Google's a company. Google wants to profit off of what? People using their product. If you're going to Google and you got bad results, what would you stop doing? You'd stop using Google. You'd start using Bing, or preferably everyone should use DuckDuckGo and not use the big search engines because this one doesn't track your privacy, but that's a side note. I digress. If we can stick to creating content that is more in your voice, it won't fail the copy detection. So now, and again, I don't want to waste too much time on this, but just to give an example, I want to talk about how generating AI text for blogs is great. The issue, though, is that so often people are directly using generic text out of chatbots and not including their own voice. They are not being themselves. And the content ends up basically being plagiarized and repeating what other people say. As a very quick example of this, and let's do this. Let's say, rewrite that blog post, make it for solve, design, create, and make sure to go into depth of ways that people can integrate their own voice to the brand. So like one thing that I do when I make a website with people, years ago, I would ask people to generate their own text. I'd have you write your text, right? That was the human way to do it. Now I go through and chat with clients and I basically ask, okay, well, why did you start this brand? I had one lady that she was a second generation at what she did. And she's like, oh, that's not important. I'm like, yes, it is. Like, we love that. I love that you grew up doing what you're doing now. And I feel like in a way, everyone knows when they're being sold to. Everyone knows that corporate just, I don't know, I feel like spam. I mean, literally, not even like spam email, spam in a can, right? That's just, it feels like that. So I feel like to be organic, to be original, to be a real person, and to actually show that I don't just want your money, I want to help you. And I feel like that's really what it is. And no matter what it is, whether you're selling them a cup of coffee, you're cutting your hair, you're building them a website, you're building them a custom kit, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Everyone knows when they're being sold to and they want to make it organic. So again, this is one step better because now at least I aimed it, right? So now instead of just like shooting in the dark and hoping I hit the dartboard, at least now I'm pointing in the wall where the dartboard is. What would really be good is if I went and wrote this blog post into say like, and again, maybe 2 paragraphs. The more that I build this up and then have it rewrite my text, it ends up as a quick example, I have a client who is an English major. She gave me her biography. So, and again, an English major, right? She knows how to write pretty well, obviously. I took her bio in, I had ChatGPT rewrite it and implemented SEO on it. And she straight up said, she was like, I feel like I wasted time getting my degree. The bio is so much better than I ever would have written it. The grammar is, I mean, it's great. But again, I gave it 500 words to have it write 500 words. And excuse my vulgarity, but crap in, crap out. If you're just asking it to write a blog post, even like this is not enough. And the easiest way to see, again, if someone's doing it, let's say you hire, oh, I'm a social marketing expert. And I can tell you, I don't know, 10 people in the past month I've seen hire a quote expert, and this is exactly what they're doing. And I double checked it. You go and look at the post, you copy the text, put it into one of these detectors, and you're going to see it clearly is, and it's going to be like, oh, 97%. So how do we fix that? So there are solutions and there are tools, and I almost don't want to show you this, but I'm gonna. This is about learning. So as a scientist, so there's avoid AI detection. And what we can do, we can actually take that blog post. So let's go here and let's go there. It's funny, we're using the topic of the class for the blog post, right? Isn't that funny? It's almost like cannibalism. We're feeding it to itself. Oh no. Okay, so 92.18% AI GPT, right? So now I'm going to take this in. This is called Word AI. I want to say it's like $400 or $600 a year.
That's right.
For a lot of business owners, this would be an expense that they probably wouldn't justify. But again, I mean, I do this all day long. I probably spend, I don't know, 5 to 10 grand a year on AI. But again, for what it's worth, it has helped me help my clients in ways that I can't even express. At one point, I had about 40 subcontract writers that would help me, not, all the time, intermingly. Someone was better with food, someone was better at, whatever. This is better than that because I can tune it with AI and to SEO. So now I had it rewrite it, right? And it's pretty accurate. And again, not to waste too much time, but we got a lot to cover. So I'm trying just to give you the brief overview of what these things do. Integrating your voice into AI generated content, integrating your voice into AI. Okay, so that's basically the same, right? Enhancing brand authenticity, strengthening brand authenticity. It's using synonyms and very similar words to what we're saying. Define your brand voice, basically the same, before diving into AI generated content, before using AI to generate content. But now if we're here, and again, this is what, like, I don't even care if marketers are on this call. I hope my competitors are on this, because if you're not doing this, you failed the test. And look at that. In 30 seconds, I was able to pass as human written. And again, to be real with you, that's lazy. That's not good enough. This is not what you should be doing. What you really should be doing is you should be coming up with your own voice. And if you're busy, we're all busy. We're all busy running our own business. I had a lead today in Southwest Florida. And the guy was like, I don't know, how do you work with all these brands? How do you do all this? I was like, lots of coffee. But what I'll do, I do voice to text on my phone. So I'll literally text myself, because that's not crazy, right? And I'll do voice to text and be like, okay, SEO is search engine optimization. By leveraging this, you show up for what you do. When you show up for what you do, people that don't know your business are finding you instead of your competition. Blah, 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 blah. And by rattling off that information in my own voice, I'm using my own words. You can copy and paste that. And again, have ChatGPT rewrite it. Little free information. You can even have it. Let's do this. Let's take the good one. So, right, that's the rewritten one. Now, can you rewrite my edited version, but make sure to include H1 through H6 heading tags? And again, I cannot tell you how many people don't do this, and it drives me absolutely insane. By not doing this, you're not telling Google what you're writing about is important. And if you're ignoring Google, and again, insert search engine here, it doesn't matter, Bing, they're all the same. They all work basically the same way. But headings are basically how you're proving relevance. This is going to get nerdy real quickly, but there were 2 Google updates, Google Panda and Google Penguin. And what they would do, they try to make Google not allow people like me to take advantage of it. The more that we get good at what we're doing, we're basically bending the results. And to me, like what some unscrupulous marketing people would do, I could go and take any business, anyone in here, tell me your business, whatever your business is. I could go and make a website. Literally, I could copy your text and rewrite it and make a website, generate leads for it, and then sell you those leads. To me, that feels dishonest. To me, that feels very like, I don't know, I'm going in front of a pizza place, buying all the pizzas out and then selling people slices in front for twice the price. I don't like that. That to me feels dirty. Maybe my moral compass is too strong, but what I think, you having your own expertise, your own experience, your own authenticity, that's what makes you you. And I will never have that, and no one else will. And as long as you project that well, and again, even when people are humble, I've had a lot of clients that are humble about putting themselves out there like that. But I feel like where you've lived, what your experience is, why did you start this business? Do you hate dogs? Well, then why are you a vet? Oh, you don't hate dogs, you love dogs. And the dog that you had at 3 years old saved your life. Oh, and you worked with people with disabilities and you've seen amazing things that animal, and like, that's the story. And again, marketing in a way is manipulation. Marketing is a way to manipulate people to get them to do what we want them to do. A very fine moral compass line, as Bill Hicks would joke about. But in that sense, you are marketing yourself with everything you do. If you're sitting there complaining on social media about how difficult life is, guess what? I don't know if I want to work with you. And we all have trials and tribulations. I have an autoimmune disease. I have definitely walked through hell on earth for quite a bit. But I've had many people say, like, you're like a warrior with this. It just doesn't affect you. And again, to be completely real and transparent, I'm going to open up here a little bit, guys. It does. I am good at being able to present myself in a way. Guess what? I do marketing. What a shock. And I don't want to say, it's not that you want to be a chameleon. It's not that you want to lie, but you need to project yourself. When someone walks in, you have a retail store. Are you going to tell them you're having a bad day? They just walked in. Like, they don't, not to say they don't care, but they are there for you to solve their problem of whatever it is. Be it that they need a haircut, that their belly's grumbling and they're hungry, that they want to buy some artwork, whatever it is. So truly, to me, instead of thinking about what you want, and again, it's like the golden rule, what would other people want, right? Do unto others. What would they want? And I feel like that is such a simple way to put it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think, how can I help you? You didn't grow up hacking video games. You don't work on websites for 40 hours a week. You're not in ChatGPT for 40 hours. What would help for this? Now, again, the more that you do this, the better you'll get at it. And really, truly, and again, it's been predicted, this is not my prediction, but I say 2 to 5 years, but they say 5 to 10, there will be heads of AI at every major corporation, because literally this is taking over everything. So again, I'm going to be mean here for a sec. If you don't get with this and your competition does, they will squish you because they'll hire someone like me. Yesterday I had a client, we built 3,700 pages in 4 hours. 3,700 pages. The size and the mass quantity of what you can do. Now, wait a sec. Is it just a bunch of crap? Is it just watered down? It very well can be. So that, again, going back to authenticity, that is such an important point. The more authenticity that you build in your brand, start slow. Don't go build 1,000 pages. I've already, quote, mastered that. I know how to do it now. Once you have gotten really good output, when you love the content, when it sounds like what you would say, that's when you can start scaling it. So now, again, like another level up. And I found this is kind of a little fun tidbit. That was great. Thank you so much. They've programmed into AI that the nicer you are to it, it seems to work better. Isn't that funny? And again, let's make the world a good place, right? So can you now rewrite that, focusing on Naples, FL, and Naples, Florida, where my business is based? And again, this is basically SEO because we're trying to write around what we're talking about. Now, it's a little ugly because it's in the code. Ignore the little brackets and the whatever, the carrots. But the point is, guess what? Thanks so much. Can we now rewrite that for Detroit? And you could go on, so on and so forth. And this is what a lot of like big corporate businesses are doing. And again, people that have teams of marketers. I'm all for the little guy. I feel like a lot of the corporate giants, like again, like Amazon is killing malls and squishing the mom and pops to the point now that if the mom and pops don't sell on Amazon, they go out of business, right? So I feel like, to me, this is a way where you can help your business expand. Would you have the time to go write, let's say again, Southwest Florida, Naples, Marco, Bonita, Fort Myers, Estero, San Carlos, blah, 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 let's say all those cities. Would you have the time to go and write different pages for every service that you do? You have 10 services and say there's 10 cities. Are you going to go write 100 pages? No. But if you wrote one that was perfect, this is a way that you could exponentially increase your output and make it, again, authentic in your voice. You can include SEO. And again, do you need to edit this? Abso-freaking-lutely, you need to edit it. I make a little joke, and again, I'm sure you guys are getting my little personality in this. Yay. AI is like hiring the 18-year-old that comes in, their eyes are bloodshot, they're an hour late. Like, you need to double check everything that it does, because there's no telling. And again, even like, I love Word AI, avoid AI detection. I love this, it's great, but it can make errors. For example, I was working with a company that does mold remediation and restoration. I spun some of their text, and instead of saying the city in Florida that they were in, it ended up saying a city in Illinois. Now, granted, that city was in both states and there's some overlap there, but again, it makes mistakes. So, and again, that's what's scary about using like sorry, crappy marketers that are literally just going to ChatGPT and copying and pasting it. They don't know your brand. They don't have a relationship with you. It's not authentic. And you're basically shooting yourself in the foot because you're putting content out there that does not align with what you're doing. Back to Google, when they see that you're in Naples and you start pumping out stuff about Illinois and you have nothing out for it, you are hurting your SEO. And again, there's ways to fix it. You can definitely hire someone like myself to go and clean up things like that. But like, for an example, I had a client that had a web designer build them a site. They cloned another one of their client sites, and all of the crap of the existing site was still in it. So, and again, I'm just random examples that are not in their niche to not hurt a client's confidentiality. Let's just say, for example, whatever, it's a nail salon and it's a hair salon, and you do hair, but you don't do nails, and their whole site was about nails and you actually do hair. All of those keywords were still there. So you've watered down what you're doing, and Google's going to see you as less relevant now. And that really is the point. It's all about relevancy. It's really about proving, why should Google, a giant billion-dollar corporation, show your little teeny tiny website to everyone that's coming to it? The more likely that you give them something that's valuable to the readers, you're that much more likely to rank. And a fun little example, this is a newer client, Storm Damage Roof Repair, Fort Myers, Florida, 33967. So this is a newer site. We literally just finished this one. Shout out to Robertson Roofing. This is indexing storm damage roof repair. And again, to be real with you, this is the client's voice. I've AI'd it, I've SEO'd it. Again, it's a pretty page. He's got great reviews. He's a great business owner. He's doing very good at what he's doing. But my point, this is a brand new website, and we're already getting #1 listings. And again, it's not for Fort Myers as a whole. It is for the actual specific zip code. But guess what? People in that location are going to start finding this client. I had a client yesterday that told me it is summertime in Southwest Florida. There's a very seasonal thing. So for clients that are all over and not in Florida, they're busier now in summer than they've ever been. And every single person, when they ask, well, how'd you hear about us? Guess what the answer is? Google. So if you can play this game and basically give the internet what it wants, that's what helps. Now, again, how am I doing this? What is the point of all this? And why am I giving you guys free information? Why am I doing this? Because there are marketers out there that are pumping out garbage. And this is my little candle in the dark to make the world a better place. If you put out content that is just from AI, and again, let's make like a new chat here. And let's say, what are blog posts for a home repair business? And if you're just like writing these out as it would come, if it's not providing value, if it's generic text, if it's plagiarized, even worse, what if it's wrong? And I'm sure we've all seen it, the jokes about like, how many rocks a day should you eat? And it's like 1 to 3 rocks are great for a balanced diet. That is AI, that's mistakes. And to be real with you, there are trolls that are messing with AI bots to try to mess them up. Just like when you see the videos like, oh, microwave your phone and it'll fix it if you get water on it. And that sucks, because what about special needs people that may watch that would actually do it? Or that, oh yeah, just plug a fork in, like little kids. I've got a 3-year-old. What if, there's things that are very scary and dangerous about that. The internet is very much so the Wild West. What's hard now, a lot of this stuff is coming under censorship legislation. Right now, this is completely the Wild West. And that's scary, because again, and to be real, I usually find that the people that are making the laws about these technologies really don't understand them, which is even scarier. But if you can find ways, and again, only using publicly available information, don't give away your secret recipe to your restaurant, because that wouldn't be smart. But you can talk about the taste, you can talk about the flavor, you can talk about what everyone loves about it, talk about what is public, find ways to project yourself with this. And the main, instead of wasting time, and I'm sorry to put it that way, but again, time is our most limited asset. My health issues showed me that in a very big way. Having kids has shown me that in even a bigger way. I feel like you need to find ways to be 10 people, even though you're only one. And again, and if you're able and blessed enough to be able to hire someone to help you, well, then great. But are they getting your voice accurately? So in that point, you need to make sure that they have a bio where they can say, here's my business, go and write that off of it. Here's what I do. And again, just as a very quick example, yay, Robertson Roofing. I didn't even know which one I was going to use for this, but just seat in my pants here. Come up with 10 blog posts around this service page. That's already in the right brand voice, right? Okay, and then I'm just going to stop this just for time's sake, just so we can keep going. Write this into a 500-word blog post. And again, so on and so forth. I've found that by doing it like this, why don't I just tell it to do the H1 through 6 now? Why don't I tell it to do Fort Myers now? Why don't I just do all of it in one swing? Again, back to that lazy 18-year-old employee that AI seems to be a lot like. It will do a worse job if you don't take the time to like layer it. So it's almost like an onion. I'm starting with what is the core root of what my attack is? What am I trying to get this to rank for? And then now it's writing it. But again, because there really isn't that much organic text, now you can say rewrite this, but leverage my brand information and do that. I think I did that wrong. Hold on one sec. Okay, it's gonna make me log in now. You should also, and again, to be kind of real on this, I would sign up for ChatGPT. I wanted to use a non-logged in, non-paid version because this is something that everyone can use. I pay for their $20 a month chat and I pay for the API, but even for the free version, this is still, again, amazing tool. What can this do for humanity, right? When you sign up, you can sign up with Google. I'm a little weary about these because if someone ever hacked into your account, they would have access to everything. One of the classes I definitely need to do is going to be on security and good security management. Don't reuse passwords. Please use two-step. Using the same password for everything is begging hackers to steal your identity. It will cost you thousands of dollars and thousands of hours to fix that. So please don't do that. But just for example, you could easily give them your email address, sign up for it. And what's cool, your chats will get saved. So something else that I've had a really good luck with, once I have the brand's voice built into an AI channel, you can go to your Google My Business, and let's do mine. And you can have it write a reply to a review. Hey, Diane. There you go. And again, I'm bad. You should reply to these really quickly. I need to hire help, don't I? I'm there. Let me see if I can get one of these and do this and ChatGPT. And stay logged out. Okay, I need to reply to a Google review. Sign it, Brad Stevens, lead marketing wizard and owner of Solve Design Create. Make sure to reference. Oh, Diane just hopped on. Hi, Diane. Make sure to reference what the Google review says and be very professional, thankful, and appreciative of the clients supporting our business, for their ongoing business, and for taking the time to leave us a review. Now, if you have a business, you're probably doing this anyways, right? And you should be. Hopefully you are. If you're not, that's not good for SEO. Diane, you were my example. I'm going to use you because you left me a review that I didn't reply to. Love you, Diane. So what I did, I have now that reply. So, dear Diane, thank you so much for your glowing review of Solve Design Create. And again, you should read this because this is your business. This is me. If I don't read this and it says something wrong, that would not be nice. Make sure it's accurate. Even better, you could say, and let's go back. That was okay, but I need to instead try to say this. Thank you so much for all of the years of support to my business and for being an awesome friend and client. We very much so appreciate all you do for your community, and it has been a pleasure helping your local business out. Sorry, someone's joining. But again, by telling it what I want it to say, I can tailor that better. And again, I'm trying to go as quick as I can on this because there's so much I want to give you guys. But the more that I tailor that, the more it will be in my voice. Now, okay, thank you sincerely for your steadfast support for my business. That is not how I would say that. That's great. Thanks so much. Got to be nice to AI, right? Before they take over. I'm putting them to work, man. If they do take over, I'm gonna be the first one they tie up. But I need you to write it in a very similar way, but be less wordy. I would never say steadfast. That's great, but I need it to be longer text. And again, you're literally going back and forth with the bot. What I find, the people that are very opposed to AI, they expect to be like, reply to this review. And they paste it in and they're like, man, they just put out garbage. Well, yeah, but you put in garbage. That's why. So the more that you tailor this, and again, let's say I go and do a bunch of reviews. Let's say I have one chat. So again, you can do a new chat. And if you're logged in, you can rename that chat. I could do SDC review replies. And then you could literally do voice to text, say what you want to say, personalize it so it is unique to it, and then have it write it so the spelling's right, the grammar's right, it references what they said. I have one review that is one of my shining stars. Thank you, FizzyQ. I really love what she said at the bottom where he has a lot of great suggestions and you can decide what will work for your business. But I will say the more you listen and incorporate, the better results you'll see. I'd highly recommend for anything related to blah, blah, blah. Okay. So in that sense, if I even wanted to highlight on that one section, because that's a very valuable point to someone that's looking at my business, you could literally tell AI, make sure to focus on the part where they said, and then blah. Now, obviously that's an incorrect review to that one, but you get what I'm saying with that. The more that you, again, authenticity, the more that you put yourself into this, the better it will be. And again, guess what? Google My Business is public. The reviews are public. The replies are public. Everything is public. So is there anything really bad about, and again, don't go and say, it was great working with the name of their LLC and blah, blah, blah. You'd use what was ever the public information to be safe and respectful there. Okay. So the next whole section is going to be on other uses of AI. So I've done it with video. I've done it with music. I've done it with images. I use AI to make my coffee. Does anyone have any questions about text AI? You can throw it in the chat. Let me just see. Okay. Someone said, what is H1 and H6? Those are heading sizes. H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest. The more that you use the different headings, it helps with SEO. Google how to use headings in WordPress for SEO. Headings, HEADINGS. The detectors, someone said, what are the detectors? Go to Google, type in AI content detectors, AI text detectors. And again, just literally to do it. And not to circle back too much, but that is an important one. AI detector free. There you go. Google it. There's a ton of them. To be real, I use all of them. I have no favorite because they all ebb and flow and change as they update algorithms. My concerns with AI are ethical, specifically in relation to plagiarism. Absolutely. I'm open to using it, but I hate the idea that I'm just using someone else's labor and the skills is great. Okay. And again, Claire, so what you were saying about the ethic side of this, being ethical with AI is easy. What you should do if you really want to do that, write your own blog post, write a 300-word blog post, have it write it to 500 words. I had a client that was in a medical field and they wanted me to cite sources. And again, let's do a new chat. So I can just a very quick example on that because that's a good one. Write a blog post about, I'll do my autoimmune disease, Wagner's granulomatosis, and cite your sources. So the problem is, again, exactly like you said, Claire, it is from corners of the web. It's going to go and write this out and blah, 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 blah. But the sources it may use may be gone. So again, if you don't double check this stuff, 18-year-old that came in, make sure they're doing their job right. Okay. I think that is it. Did anyone else have any other questions about text generation? Going once, going twice. You guys are like, no, give me the video stuff. I want the cool stuff, Brad. That's just, yay, text. We didn't come here to read. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I am going to use a client example here. I work with a clinic in Southwest Florida. Oh, loving everything. Thank you, Kevin. Let me do this. And you find your window and bam. So this is a client, award-winning psychedelic therapy in Southwest Florida that their new website, I will say, is probably the most beautiful one I've ever built. I cannot wait for it to be done. Follow me and I will show you it soon. They have gradients that someone else designed for their business. And I'm just pulling that up right now. Okay, so if we look at all of these, clip fly is the place. And if we look at these gradients, and let me just find one so I can show you it. Gradients. Okay, so these gradients were basically the colors that are in their scheme. And what I did, I literally took their images and I used a place called Clipfly, and it animated images. And again, for their business, this is 100% on brand for what they're doing. Clipfly is a paid program, so you would have to pay for this. But the idea is, let's say you have a graphic. Let's say you're a painter and you paint. We have a painter here. We have an artist. Where's my painters? I also have a print shop here. So this would definitely apply to you guys. You guys could literally design a graphic, and then with Clipfly, let me go up. Oh, yeah, this is a Clipfly. So clipfly.ai, you can generate text into video, or you can upload an image and then have it generate around it. Now, again, is it perfect? No. When I did, I don't know, I've done probably 50, 60 videos with it. To be real with you, 5 or 10 were absolutely garbage. Some of these don't even move. And again, luckily I haven't clicked on one yet. So this is the perfect example. Then I click it, it doesn't even play, right? Some of them, when you'll look, like they just didn't move. They were just a static image. So obviously that's not what we wanted. But again, it's AI. It's not perfect. It's a robot. It's in its infancy. In the, I don't know, year or two that I've really been heavily delving into this, it has grown so much. It's like watching your kids grow up and you turn around like, oh my God, how are they not a baby anymore? AI is amazing how it's growing in leaps and bounds. Some other just kind of cool things. If you look up Linkin Park AI music video. So the big band, and again, a lot of people don't like AI, right? AI generated music video. And what they're doing, they literally used AI to do it. Now, the one problem, some of that stuff almost gets like too like, I don't know, glitchy, where like the video turns into 50 different things. It's a style, I guess. It almost reminds me of like a Scanner Darkly, and it just, I don't know, it's kind of meh. And again, this is it. So just a kind of quick example. I'm probably not allowed to show, this is for learning purposes only, right? This is copywritten content. But again, so that looks like anime. Now, why didn't they hire an anime designer to do that? That is the sad part. And again, and in some ways, back to the ethical side, that does make me sad, because again, you can literally use Midjourney. Midjourney is an image. And again, we can even say that image AI generator, and let's do free. So, I mean, there's literally tons of them. Adobe has it. So literally now, if we go into Photoshop, and I like the beta version, and let me see if this will come up. Okay. Right. And then blog posts should always be 16 by 9. That's 1920 by 1080. And again, that's totally a side note, but drives me crazy when people don't do that. So just for what that is. So, okay, I'm going to use a client that I've been working with for a while now. And let me go here. So if I have an image that someone gives me that isn't 16 by 9, this is a great way to use AI. And to be real with you, this would have taken hours to do before. So let's say, and again, give me one sec. I should have grabbed this before. If anyone has questions, throw them in the chat too, just while we're going. Let me do that. And it is SEO picks. And bam. So let's say I have a 4x3 image that doesn't look as good of what I need. And I want to make it longer, wider, whatever. Now these were shot correctly, but I'm just going to grab a random image in. Okay, so let's say, just for example, that I don't like that guy in the top right corner. And yeah, you could just crop that out, but wait a sec, now I'm losing the pool, right? So what you can do, you can literally use AI, select it, do generative fill, and then say, remove this person from the back top right corner. And again, to be real with you, this is roll of the dice. Sometimes you end up getting stuff that looks insanely weird and creepy, and you're like, what even is that? Sometimes it's absolutely perfect. Sometimes you got to do it 2 or 3 times. It's a computer. It's not perfect. But look at that. It almost did it. Now in the same, the pool doesn't end now. Now the pool kind of extends, but guess what? In Naples, that doesn't look that unrealistic. Now I don't love that, how it's kind of falling off, but guess what? Let's say we want to fix that. So we could even take this out, and what's cool, it does it in layers, right? So I can go back and forth. That's actually what it generated right there, that corner where I had selected. Now let's say if we do this, we can cut that out. You're gonna have to rasterize your layer. I should do Photoshop classes, guys. Who wants Photoshop classes? So now I can generate that entire white rectangle. And because it's not just that little segment of it, it takes more pixel data and it usually outputs a little bit better. So see, doesn't that look a lot better? It looks more accurate to it. Now I will say there are some goofy things like, what is that? What is this thing right there? And to be real, that's where knowing how to use Photoshop can get handy, because now we can say, let's do this. I'm going to combine these. I'm going to do a new smart object. What drives me insane, man, I cannot tell you how many marketers tell you they're experts, but like the guy you're talking to doesn't know Photoshop. Now he might know coding, but he doesn't know this. And again, jack of all trades, master of none. I get there's something in that, but to me, if you're looking at hiring someone and they don't understand all the aspects of this, they're probably going to hurt you more than they're going to help you, because like the AI text generation, they don't know what they don't know. Now, again, that's a very quick and dirty example, but I was able to remove that. To be real, I have a client who's an amazing Photoshop wizard, wizardress, I don't know, whatever the word is. She would spend hours editing images, and they've been in magazines and she's been published, and she's amazing. And she doesn't love AI, and I respect that she doesn't, because this is directly in that. In the same, for a business owner that's too busy running their restaurant, their salon, their whatever, more than likely you don't have the time to go and master Photoshop. So again, for that, this is an amazing tool. It's also included in Illustrator, and I'm not going to go too far into that one. That's can be a very big black hole very quickly. Illustrator is for vector, where Photoshop is more for like image data. It's better if you're doing print to design in Illustrator. And again, that's not what this class is about, but just for the example, you can go here and then you can do, bam, select, and you can do generative text in this as well. To be real, I have one. Let me see if I can show it. When I first opened it, it showed it. I was working on some shirts for someone, and this was one that it came up with for me. And again, it's not bad. It's cool. It says love, right? I could easily make that into drop ship merchandise and get it on Amazon or whatever. Again, though, the problem with that, that's so generic. There's tons of training videos on YouTube. If you look it up, people are literally taking AI generated images and then using something like Printful to go and just, pump out coffee cups and t-shirts and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it works. And again, to be honest with you, I kind of want to dabble with some of that stuff. I could probably make good money with all my skills with that. The problem is if you're making crap, and that's where like you literally see designs on Amazon now where people have like 10 fingers and where like, love is misspelled. It's Loive, it's Loive or whatever. And it's like, what? That's ridiculous. Those are lazy marketers. Those are people that are not, we need to get rid of those people doing their bad jobs, right? So the restaurant owner and such are too busy meant to hire the artist and the time. And I agree that hiring people for it is there. What about the businesses that don't have the budget for it though? And I would say like, again, so like a great example, a lot of times I have clients that don't have content for websites. Pexels is a free platform where you can get stock images. And again, let's just say love, because that was the last one of what it was. If you were making a website that was all about love products and whatever, that's cool. That could totally be a background that you use. Now, would it be better to hire a photographer to go and shoot love written on the beach? I've got tons of friends in Naples. They could draw a heart. Absolutely. Sure. The only problem is if that photographer wants $2,000, if the person only has $1,500 to build something, I feel like some of these are an ends to a means. Should they go and do that with their own products on the beach? Absolutely. But what if this is how they got the business off the ground? So I feel like, and again, are there people that have the means to it and are cheaping out and don't want to do, of course, welcome to Earth, right? That is what it is. In the same, I feel like when people are using stock images, that's not authentic to their brand. Let's say whatever, let's say you did, let me refresh. Let's say you did, oh, come on. Hold on. Let's do this. If ever a page isn't working, you can usually redo the URL and it'll do what you want. That is not any restaurant that I've worked with burgers. I would hope someone would have images of their own burgers. But again, if you're starting something and you needed it for a food blog and you don't have an image of it, now in the same, can we just use iPhone photos? Absolutely. You could use iPhone videos and photos. And again, is it the same as a $3,000 Sony, A7R camera? No, of course not. A Mustang's not the same as a Ferrari. Do they do the same thing though? Pretty much. Your iPhone photos are usually good enough. I had a client that ranked #1 in Detroit for 600 terms with all iPhone photos. So for what that works, and I was, I'd like to toot my horn and think they were pretty artsy. I would do a way better job now with my pro camera. For the video making, I like Clipfly. To be real with you, so what you're asking, I would like to mix together several videos and overlay a song. I would never do that with AI. And again, maybe that's my snobbery. But to be real, if anyone saw the video in the beginning, I don't know if you guys can hear the song. I hope you can because it's so cool. But I made this. So this video, and again, to be real with you, this was an After Effects template. This is an After Effects template. And this I organically made, just a little animation. But again, like the song in the back is AI. and let's not waste too much time because we've got to wrap up here on this. But to me, to edit these clips, learn how to use Final Cut or iMovie or GarageBand. But wait, I'm on Windows. Sell your Windows computer and buy a Mac. Sorry. Editing video and stuff is so much easier on Mac than it is on Windows. You can do it. There's Windows Movie Maker and there is, but it's just so much more intuitive. Maybe I'm a Mac snob. Sorry, it is what it is. We all have our biases. You're never going to tell the Mustang guy to like Camaros. It just is what it is. But GarageBand and iMovie come for free on every single Mac, every single iPhone, every single iPad. They make it so easy. Literally, like, I bet you by the time my kids are 5 or 8, they're going to be able to make their own music and videos in these. It's so easy. Final Cut is the better version. They have a lot more plugins that you can buy. And there's a really cool platform, more good free info, guys, elements.envato.com. You can pay for this. And again, I forget what the price is. I want to say it's like $200 a year. Let's see, pricing. But just for example, you can go video templates and you can say AI. And do you guys recognize that? Oh man, it's almost like I got that template right there. Now, again, to be real with you, I literally made this 15 minutes before the class, but isn't that cool? I made that. And again, it's repetitive. It does repeat, but not bad for 15 minutes before the class, huh? So it's one of those things that, like, that to me, using a template. And again, to be real, if AI is plagiarizing people, isn't this plagiarizing? Let's see if it says the guy's name. Elevate Audio, and in a way, like, that's what templates are. Now, you should customize them more. You should use your own media. And they do it monthly. I want to say it's yearly is a little bit better. I wanted to include that, but my point being, though, it's not that expensive. And if you're decently good with Photoshop, say you're a painter or a graphic designer, you can learn After Effects. You can learn these programs. Now, After Effects is like a very deep, I could do 10 classes on After Effects. It is an insane black hole of information, but it works. It works very good. Clip Champ, someone said, works for okay for beginning editing. That's cool. Windows, thank you. The thing that I like about Mac for that, I feel like it's just more intuitive. The audio files and video files work better. There's no issues with like formatting. There's no drivers and DLLs. But again, I mean, ends to a means. If you have Windows, you're not going to go out and buy a new computer tomorrow for it. So lastly, let's go into image generation with AI. So for that, Midjourney is the biggest one. And Midjourney is kind of a weird one because you go to, and again, it's funky, cool, 80s glitchy website, right? What you actually have to do, you have to open up, I want to say it's Discord or Telegram. I should have had this for it. And you literally chat with it in a channel. And what's cool, and I guess it's whatever, it's nerdy, it's cool. All my crypto people love it. I don't really like that. And I've had clients struggle with it. Some of the issues with a lot of them, like if you just go on to, let's say like Apple App Store. And again, I guess this makes it accessible to everyone. Some of the issues with like the App Store ones, they are using your information and it puts it in public domain. So let's say you say like logo generator AI. And then see this. And again, I'm doing this from the seat of my pants. I've never looked at any of these. Solve, design, create, marketing, web design, triangles. And again, I mean, I guess they're decent. It looks like something you'd see off Fiverr. I feel like that's not very organic, and most of these I've seen. Honestly, that one kind of looks. I like that one. I'd go for that one if I wasn't a graphic designer. That's something I would definitely use. But again, to be real, at some point you could even use something like Envato Elements and graphic templates and say triangle logo. And again, that looks very close to mine. Thank God it's a little bit different, but I had mine actually drawn by an illustrator, so I did hire an artist. Yay! Ooh ah! Ooh ah! But someone said look up B logos. And again, I would say if you're able to draw it, or if you're able to hire someone that could draw it for you so it is organic and unique to you, that's always better. Of course, that's always better. But what if you're just starting? What if you just need something? It's better than nothing. And there's people, and again, to me, that's the benefit of AI. That's like GarageBand being on every single iPhone. Anyone in their bedroom can go make music now. It's not that hard. And literally, you could go and open up GarageBand and sing, doop, 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 and then layer that, doop, 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 and there you go, just layer it, and you can make a song. Very scatty, right? But my point is, it's something. Oh, suggestion. Yes. Suggestions on poisoning out art to make it safe from being scraped. I don't, to be honest with you, I feel like that's a joke. That, you know, that's like when people do like, I'm going to disable right click on my website. Well, great. I'm going to go look at your source code and still copy it anyways. Anytime a lock is created, a criminal will find a way to break it. Oh, we got a deadbolt. Well, okay, we'll knock the door down. So any way that you try to stop someone from doing it. And again, like I hear you, it is to me, like, and to make like a little music analogy, go ahead, steal my song. I can always write another one. And again, to be safe, you should copyright it. You should do what you can, organically generate and go and trademark it. But then you get into the point, like, do you have money for lawyers? Are you going to go sue someone when they try to use it? I've seen bands, bigger bands, and I won't say names, that have gone to South America, and bootleggers are selling their merchandise and making a killing on it using their logos that they scrape from their website. But guess what? The artwork's really low grain and grainy because the ultra high res 10 megabyte image of their logo isn't available online. So do what you can to protect yourself. But again, to be real, you're never going to make the criminals and the bad people go away. There are ways that you can do things like, let's say, you know, I don't know, like watermarking things, but I hate that. I feel like when I go to a photographer's website and everything's watermarked, I'm like, I don't know. It's just it's so cheesy to me that like, that just, I don't know. To me, that almost looks like you don't know what you're doing. I feel like in that point, it's like the work doesn't speak for itself. You're hurting it. It's like you're giving me the food, but you're only giving me a smidge of it. And then you're literally making me eat cardboard with the food when it's like, I just wanted to taste your food, you know? And I don't know. I mean, I get it, but to me, I've accepted that that's not going to go away. And guess what? Even if it could, if you took something in and you had, let's just go to Google and just try to find one really quick. Let me go here and do watermarked image. So they're making it difficult for me to get that image, but guess what? I still got it, didn't I? So go here, paste it in, and then let's blow it up so it is the full thing. So this guy protected his artwork, right? Remove the watermark. And this is the scary thing, like nothing's safe anymore. The cat's out of the bag. You can't stop this. That to me is where I'm, you know, and again, it's one of those things. If you can't beat them, join them. That sounds horrible to say. I feel like we have to leverage this technology. Guess what? Watermark's gone. Ooh, it's like magic. If you're able to input your voice, like what I was saying in ChatGPT, if you're able to generate your own graphics, you could literally draw something. Let's say you're not even that good at drawing. You could draw it, use a permanent marker, scan that, throw that into Photoshop, use generative AI to finish the drawing. Add a dragon to the sky. And what you're not, let's say I'm not good at drawing dragons. You could have it do it. You can even tune this stuff to where you could say, draw a dragon in the style of Studio Ghibli. Now look, now it only generated a dragon in the sky. It didn't do that good of a job, right? It messed up. So now what I might need to do is go like this and then say, generate a Studio Ghibli style dragon flying out of the sky, ripping out of a page. And again, like that's a hard request. That's not, that would take a graphic designer a minute to do, right? So it might mess up, it might not, you never know, you roll the dice. Not bad though, that's pretty accurate to what I wanted. To be real, what I'm usually using it for, and again, like this is web design, this is marketing, it's back to like this, where like if I didn't have that image, a 4x3 image would be missing this section. If I was missing that section, how do I make this image work for a blog post without cropping it? That to me is a great use of AI. Yes, watermarks can be removed. So we're supposed to wrap up. Does anyone have any other questions? I appreciate you guys for coming. If anyone needs digital marketing, I would love to have you. You can book on my website, solvedesigncreate.com/book. I charge an agency rate and I do everything in your name. So basically you have full control of everything. And again, I would say the main point is it goes back, just be authentic. And I feel like that's it. Like if we are authentic, because guess what? Most people aren't. Your competition that's just pumping AI crap out, they're not going to go put their voice in. They're not going to write the blog post. They're going to go hire someone to literally copy and paste them. So if you can at least do as much as you can, the problem is, and again, the problem with not beating them and joining them, if you don't, and I can generate 1,000 blog posts in 8 hours and you can do 5, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to outrank you. I'm going to win the race. Now, granted, I think there's a happy medium. I feel like don't make 1,000, let's make 100 and let's tailor them to the voice. I feel like that is really it. We have to find balance. Like I said in the video, AI isn't going to go away. And where was the little thing? Will your brand leverage it or be left behind? I feel like that's it. We have to find ways to leverage this. Excuse me. I hope that things will be ethical. I hope that they find ways to create legislation. Now what they're doing when you upload things, you're supposed to say that it was used with AI. Someone won an award for a book in Japan, and on the stage to accept the award, they said, I can't accept this. The entire book was written by ChatGPT. Thank God they did that, because that would suck if you genuinely wrote the real book and you lost to someone that used a bot, right? I helped a client write a book with AI. I had her write me the outline. I had her write me the subject, but we have a 2,000 word book now, and it's an ebook. It's not an actual, it's not The Hobbit, but again, as an ends to a means, she's very busy running a business. It never would have happened. I have her information. I was able to turn into it. I feel like there's ways to find ways to use this technology that are not evil. We just have to find our balance. And again, make sure you edit everything. I appreciate you guys. You can't copyright anything generated by AI. That is actually not true. The song that I generated, and I used an app called Donna. So let me go to it. There it is. Solve, Design, Create, Anthem. Oh, sorry, yes. So if I go to that song, I can go here and I can say proof of creation. And like for this, you can get documentation. I don't know if you guys can see my camera, but you can have Solve, Design, Create, Anthem. This proves that this song was created by using Donna AI and is attributed to blah, blah, blah. Any client that I make something for, I would make them pay for that because then they have usage. And honestly, that's the same thing for anything. We're not downloading WordPress themes and stealing them. No, we're going to buy a license for it. If you go to Dafont, DAFONT.com, if you're trying to use a font, let's say whatever, you want a calligraphy font. If you don't get either 100% free or public domain, and donationware, shareware would be the same too, but even like free for personal use, that is not commercial usage. I've seen people not take that advice. And again, 100% free, that wouldn't be a problem. But let's say I get like a demo. So let me refresh this so I can get the demo, and then it's gonna make me uncheck these. If you used a font that was one that needs a commercial rights, it's very easy to do a reverse image search on Google. And let me just do it. Let's see if it'll let us get it. Free for personal use, Some of them, I don't know. We never know. Yeah, this is a creative agency. There you go. There you go. For a corporate license, contact me via email. If you use this for your logo, they can end up suing you for damages. I had a lady once that did not take my advice of using her own images and just, don't go to Google and just steal images. She got an $800 cease and desist from a lawyer. And that's light. That's easy. Thank God it wasn't 8,000, right? But again, please contact me before for any commercial use. Same thing with Google. If you were going to use images with it, you'd go here, and everyone knows this, right? Let's say dragon flying and image. Okay. And then tools. And then I want to do usage rights, free to use even commercially. The problem with this, even with this, let's say you think that's good, right? You still, oh, I did it, right? That's fine. This may be something that someone uploaded and incorrectly tagged for commercial rights. So really the thing to do is like, okay, that's the one. I want that one. You would have to go in, and again, this is a model. I bet you that one isn't. I bet you that's one that published CC. Okay, that is Creative Commons. But let's say it wasn't. You could save that image, and then you could go to photos.google.com and you could search for it. I'm in a client one. You could search for that image and see if there were ones that were not Creative Commons to make sure you're not going to get in trouble. That to me is really the thing. Don't steal other people's work. But again, you're not going to make that go away. You're not. That is what it is. People are literally going to Shutterstock, finding the watermarked images, going to Google Photos, looking for them and downloading one that someone else bought and paid for because they didn't know Photoshop and uploaded the high resolution. So you can't make that go away. I wish I could, but I can't fix all of it. If you guys have questions, I would love to hear. How do you find out where our work has been placed? Go to Google image search. So Google image search and upload the image. And again, that's not perfect. There's literally people that hire lawyers to go and like shark that and just go find images. But if I look for that, it's going to do Google Lens and it's going to find things. If someone uploaded the exact image of what you did, they would find the ones that were there. Now look, this thinks it's a bat. So like, there's not that many of it. And again, it's pretty accurate. There's a ton of image search. But you'd have to dig on that. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for coming, and I hope you have a good day. Solve, Design, Create.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Najib.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
Turning your ideas into visual finesse. Let our expertise provide your model best. Let us guide you and bring out your best. From concept to creation, we'll walk hand in hand. Your brand will shine bright across the land. We'll navigate the digital world, help you understand. Together we'll conquer with a strategy so grand. Marketing help with you, not for you. Solve, design, create, the key to success. Turning your ideas into visual finesse. With our expertise, you'll rise above the rest. Let us guide you, we'll bring out your best. Marketing help with you, not for Solve, design, create, the key to success. Turning your ideas into visual finesse. With our expertise, you'll rise above the rest. Let us guide you and bring out your best. Let's guide you, we'll bring out your best. Solve, design, create, the key to success. Turning your ideas into visual finesse. With our expertise, you'll